Masechet Beitza. Beitza talks about the laws of Yom Tov, and we start off with one of the main themes in Uchot Yom Tov, which is Muktzeh. Thank you, Mark, for getting the Gemarot early. Beitza shenolda b'Yom Tov. An egg which was born on Yom Tov means the chicken laid the egg on Yom Tov. Bet Shammai omrim tochal. Bet Shammai says you could eat the egg on Yom Tov. It's great. You could cook it on Yom Tov and eat it. Bet Hillel omrim, Bet Hillel says lo tochal, you can't eat it. What could be wrong with an egg that was born on Yom Tov? I didn't do anything. The chicken did it. It's not electric. What's the problem? Rashi says lo tochal bo bayom. You can't eat it that day. The Gemara mefaresh ta'ama. The Gemara is going to explain why.
At a modern day case,
What?
At a modern day case. The gardener brought his mother the egg.
Right. Says the Gemara. Bet Hillel omrim lo tochal. Bet Shammai omrim. Bet Shammai says seor bekazait. Vehametz bekakotev. Bet Hillel omrim ze v'ze bekazait. So seor is the leaven, the sourdough. Not the bread, but the sourdough that you use to make the bread. So that's we call himutzo kasher. It's very strong. It's able to be mahmitz other things, the starter. Right? So Bet Shammai says there's a difference between seor and hametz. Seor, which is more powerful, it's able to be mahmitz other things. That's when the isur of bal yira'eh bal yimatzeh v'lo yira'eh lecha hametz v'lo yira'eh lecha seor. So Bet Shammai says seor is more hamur, it's kazayim. But hametz is less hamur. You need a kakotevet the size of a date. Then you're over it. Bet Hillel omrim no. Zev is kazayim. They're both the same shiur. Why did we segue into Hilchot hametz? Right? I thought we finished Pesachim. Rashi. Seor bekazayim. Mishum dehani tlat mili have mikule Bet Shammai. And these three things, Bet Shammai is more lenient. Gabe Yom Tov, Mechomre Bet Hillel. Gabe Yom Tov. The all Hilchot Yom Tov. Tani Luhu Gabe Hadadi. We said them together. The Gemara mefaresh tamai. The Gemara can explain the reason of Bet Shammai. Why they say like this. Bekakotevet. Rashi says is a temara. Hashochet haya ve'of b'Yom Tov. If a person slaughters a haya, is a non-domesticated kosher animal, ve'of and a bird. So the rule on those things is that after you shech them, ve'shafach et damo ve'chisao be'afar. After you shech it, you have to cover the blood. So you're allowed to make shechita on Yom Tov because it's ochel nefesh and the meat is fresh and the food is delicious. But especially they didn't have refrigerators, right? But how are you going to cover the dirt? Cover the what's it called? How are you going to cover the blood? You have to take dirt. You're not allowed to dig on Yom Tov. It's not ochel nefesh. So if you dig it from before, that's fine. Hashochet chayav ve'of b'Yom Tov. Bet Shammai omrim yachpor bedeker v'chasech. Right? Bet Shammai says if you had the deker stuck into the shovel before, into the dirt from before, then you could cover with the dirt, even though you're using the shovel to take the dirt. Ubet Hillel omrim lo yishchot. They say don't shech. Elam kenaf hayalo afar muchan. You have to have the dirt ready from before, not with the shovel. Not enough to stick in the shovel.
There's a time frame of when I have to cover the blood.
It's a physical danger.
Right away. You must share the mitzvah, right? Elam ken hayalo afar muchan mi be'od yom. Umodim, but they agree. So don't shech. I shechted. Umodim she'em shahat. If you shechted already, right? You didn't ask. Shiachpor bedecher v'chasek. That if you have a deker that's already deker na'os mi be'od yom, then you even Bet Hillel agrees. But the avad you could use it. Rashi. Umodim she'em shahat kedem mefaresh ta'ama b'Gemara keshiyesh lo deker na'os mi be'od yom. He has it stuck from before. You're allowed to do. She'efer kira, the ashes in the stove, muchan. Those ashes are already prepared. They're not muktzeh. What does that have to do with the deker? So Rashi says, She'efer kira muchanu b'Gemara bai ma'ika amar. What are you talking about? It's not me'akev, but you're not allowed to shach if you're not going to make the suit.
The guy ate too, and he drank. He shouldn't do it anyway.
Could be mevatel a mitzvah, no. I don't think so.
You shouldn't do it anyway.
Ochel nefesh, obviously you need the food.
You're not allowed to do any all melachot. You have to do melachot of ochel nefesh. If you need a house, could you build a house to eat in? Did you build a table?
Ochel nefesh, I need the food.
Again, it's not a melacha of ochel nefesh. It's a melacha of chofer. That's a derabanan. Okay. B'may askinan. What are we talking about? Meaning, why is the egg muktzeh? If you're talking about a chicken that was designated for shchita, right? So if you're allowed to shech the chicken on Yom Tov, so the chickens are not muktzeh. But assuming you could have two types of chicken. There's a concept of muktzeh. There's two types of muktzeh. There's one type of muktzeh that we're all familiar with, which is a klishim lachtoli isur. You have a hammer, you have a screwdriver, that's a klishim lachtoli isur, and you can't use it on Shabbat. That you can't move it, but l'tzorech gufom komo you're allowed. There's a chisaron kis, a very delicate item that you don't move for other purposes, and that you can't move even l'tzorech gufom. That's the category of muktzeh tiltul. But like we said before, there's a category of muktzeh that everything you want to use on Shabbat has to be prepared from before, has to have been in your mind from before. Something you aren't planning on using is muktzeh, and you can't use it on Shabbat and Yom Tov. There's a mahlok between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon about that. Rabbi Yehuda is more mahmir about it. Rabbi Shimon is more mekil. Rabbi Yehuda says, if it's not something that I actively planned on using, pretty much it's muktzeh. You have to actively think you were going to use it from before. Rabbi Shimon is much looser. Rabbi Shimon says, anything that I could potentially use, I really want to use, it's in the back of my mind, and that's good enough. Rabbi Yehuda wants it maybe in front of your mind. Rabbi Shimon says the back of your mind is good enough. You could have used it, it's good. But then you have things that you designated you're not going to use. You have the chickens that that's your the ones that lay the eggs for you, right? The chicken that lays the golden eggs, right? You're not going to shech the chicken that lays the golden eggs for Seudat Yom Tov. So that chicken is for Shul Muktzeh, because it's not, you can't eat it. There's nothing to do with it on Yom Tov. So a regular guy that has a chicken, legadel betzim, right? That chicken is Muktzeh. So the Gemara wants to know what type of a chicken laid this egg. If it's a chicken that's for eating, why would Bet Hillel say the egg is muktzeh? It's like you sliced off a piece of bread from a loaf of bread. The mother itself was omed l'achila. Could have eaten the mother, so the egg came out. Big deal. Big deal. It's part of food that came off. Rashi. Ha'omed l'achila she'ena muktzeh, it's not muktzeh. Uchla de'ifrat, ochel she'nefrad, food that was separated from its source, from other food. V'havero b'menachot, where do we find this word ifrat? Chibure ochlim, connections on food. Keman demirpete damu, it's like they came apart. Or another place, v'chem b'shchitat chulin, you have in shechitat chulin the same term. Mirpete, came apart. Says the Gemara, okay, so it can't be talking about that. Ela betarnegolet ha'omedet legadel betzim. So it must be the chicken that laid the egg was muktzeh, was omedet legadel betzim. So the mother, I can't even shech the mother on Yom Tov. Why? Because it wasn't omed for shchita. My ta'amayu de Bet Shammai. If that's the case, so why would Bet Shammai say it's mutar? The chicken is muktzeh, the egg should be muktzeh. Right? Muktzeh, it's muktzeh. Says the Gemara, Umay Kushya? What's the big deal? Why are you asking such a question? Dilma Bet Shammai let lehu muktzeh. Maybe Bet Shammai holds like Rabbi Shimon. They don't believe in muktzeh. You're right, it's a chicken that's omedet legadil betzim. But maybe I'm going to have company and I'm going to get excited and I'm going to shech the chicken. Right? That's the case of otzar. You have a case of stuff that you put aside for storage, long term. It's not in the closed pantry. You have it in the storage pantry. You're not planning on using it for a long time. You bought a cake, you're saving it for a party, right? It's muktzah. You put it aside. You're not planning on using it. But if Yehuda holds that's muktzah, you can't use it on Shabbat and Yom Tov. Rabbi Shimon holds, no, it's in the back of my mind that if I need it, I'll take it out. Everything is in the back of your mind. So even though you have a chicken, it's in the back of your mind. If I need it, if the right person comes, if Chamovadia shows up, I'll shechte for him. Right? So maybe Bet Shammai doesn't hold the muktzah. So they hold the chicken is not muktzah. So if the mother's not muktzah, the egg can't be muktzah.
But it's allowed, something new.
Oh, we're going to get to that yet. Rashi. Lately, who muktzah? Maybe they don't know muktzah. The Dilma could be Shimon Sfira Lahu. They all like to be Shimon. The Amar beperek Kira. Motara shemen shebaner v'shebeke'ara asur v'Rabbi Shimon matir. Right? The Tanakama says the leftover oil in the ner after the ner went out is muktzah. Which one's a mutar? Why out of mind? When it goes out, I'm going to use it.
There's always something left over.
There's not always, if there'll be. Says the Gemara, the reason why we're asking the question is like you said. There's a difference between muktzah that's in the world and nolad that wasn't here. Rashi. Kasal kadaitin lahachi parchin. And the reason why we asked the question, Rabbi Shimon, even Rabbi Shimon, the shari b'muktzah who allows muktzah b'nolad asir. He's going to say nolad, something new is asur. The ilu b'muktzeh sfira leilo makti inish mida'ate midi dehazi. Rabbi Shimon has this sevara. Anything I could use, I don't put out of my mind. There's always something, some way, somehow. That's the mahloket, exactly that. I don't know.
I don't hold the chicken that's having
is muktzah. That's exactly what we say. That's exactly what we're saying. If you don't hold of muktzah, the chicken's not muktzah. If the chicken's not muktzah, the egg just is. One sec. How about you wait till Rashi explains to you why nolad would appear? Okay, that's a good idea. Excellent. Says Gemara, aval nolad. You know why it's not in your mind? You can't say the egg is ready because the egg is like a new thing. So I had the chicken in mind, but the egg, because it wasn't here, it's worse. I didn't have it in mind.
From the time that the chicken has the egg in its stomach till it lays it.
Also, I didn't have in mind that it's.
We're assuming that nolad is worse. That's what we're saying. Even if you don't hold of muktzeh, nolad you're going to hold of. When it's changing. It's something that's new that came out. I didn't have it in mind. I wasn't thinking about it.
If I did have to have it in mind, would it be that?
Maybe. Wow. Yeah.
It's also
why it's there.
I didn't know that
Einachinami, same thing.
Why are you allowing me?
Why is that not allowed?
It's not it's not this isn't omed.
Right. It could be on something that's food mamash. Food is food. Masha'enken, when I'm just pulling it from the back of my mind, it becomes nolad. I'm not sure.
It's not going on.
Is there a? What's the time frame?
We're gonna get to.
Oh, that's later.
Yeah, no, but
Right? So why would it meter betzim it's nolad, and when it's not meter betzim, it's a point. Why?
Because that's ochel.
What's the difference?
That was never shy. That was never shy. There was never shy. It was never
What's the question?
The question only starts.
He's asking, what's the difference between saying uchla de ifrat on a tarnagola ta'omedet le'achila and on a tarnagola ta'omedet le'gadel betzim? And we're suggesting that on tarnagola ta'omedet le'gadel betzim, it's more of a chiddush because the tarnagola be'etzim is not omedet for achila. So you can't say uchla de ifrat. You could say that it's not muktzeh, but you can't say it's ochel. It's just not muktzeh.
Oh, right. Like you're saying. I'm expecting it to have its
It's
end.
exactly the opposite. If it's Omed Gadol Betzim, I'm expecting it to come out of it.
It's
The
still,
ones that
it's still, you're right, but it's still nolad because it's a change from what it was. We have a concept of nolad. The Gemara says when you have a keli that breaks on Yom Tov, you can't burn it, according to the Yehuda. Why? It's nolad. Before this, it was a keli. Now it's something else. It's a different. It's not a different keli. Now it's wood. So made it l'srefa. The same thing. What do you mean? What's the difference? It was here before. I was going to use it before. Now you're using it for something else. Nolad is over here. The chicken wasn't omed l'achila. Maybe I'm going to use it for achila. I could change it for achila. But when the egg comes out, it's a new thing. It's coming for achila. So and Tosfot makes a point that Rabbi Shimon holds that even when the keli breaks, it's mutar. So you see, he doesn't believe in nolad. Tosfot says there's tzvei dinim in nolad. There's two types of nolad. On one hand, you have nolad of something that's bigalui, and then you have nolad of something that wasn't visible at all. The egg was not visible at all. Now it comes out. It's like two strikes. It's a new purpose. You're going from omed legadel to omed la'achila, and it's something that wasn't visible and now became visible. On such a thing, maybe even a Bishimon would hold the nolad.
One is one.
Says Gemara further. Umay kushya.
If it's better,
Dilma bet kasalka dieting. The reason why we're asking the question, afilu man deshari b'muktzeh benolad asur. So the Gemara says, "My ta'amayu de bet shamai." So therefore, what's bet shamai's reason that holds that the egg is mutar? How are they avoiding nolad? Amar Rav Nachman will tell you. Le'olam betarnegolet ha'omedet legadel betzim. The Mishnah is talking about a chicken that's for laying eggs. Eat le muktzeh, eat le nolad. Let le muktzeh, let le nolad. Muktzeh and nolad go hand in hand. Even the nolad of mivla blu'eh and all of that.
it's the same concept.
So we're going to say, Bet Shammai kirbi Shimon. Bet Shammai says, even though the egg is born on Yom Tov, it's not muktzeh because we don't hold of nolad. And Bet Hillel says, Bet Hillel kirbi Yehuda. Bet Hillel holds like kirbi Yehuda, eat le muktzeh, since he holds of muktzeh. So the egg is asur.
According to other Rishonim, it's not.
Rashi. No Rashi. Okay. Says the Gemara. Umi Amar Rav Nachman Hachi. Does Rav Nachman say that what? That Bet Hillel holds of muktzeh and Bet Shammai doesn't hold of muktzeh? Look in Rashi. Umi Amar Rav Nachman Hachi the Bet Hillel can be Yehuda. Veha Tenan. Didn't we learn? It says in the Mishnah Masechet Shabbat. Bet Shammai Omrim. Bet Shammai says, Magbihin me'ala shulchan. You can take off the table with your hands. Atzamotu klipim, the bones and the shells, because they're not muktzeh. Ubet Hillel omrim misaleket hatavla kula u'min ha'arab. You can't pick them up. What do? Pick up the tabletop, shake it off. Tiltul min hatzad. Look in Rashi. So that's good, right? Comes out according to this. Bet Shammai doesn't hold of muktzeh, right? Because Bet Shammai doesn't hold of muktzeh. They say pick up this stuff,
Right.
And Bet Hillel holds of muktzeh. You have to shake it off indirectly, which would fit exactly with what Rav Nachman said, right? We'll get there, right? So the Amar Rav Nachman before Rashi, the Amar Rav Nachman. Anu en lanu ele Bet Shammai kirbi Yehuda or Bet Hillel kirbi Shimon. Rav Nachman says, I have a masoret. You got to flip around the Mishnah. Bet Shammai holds, shake the table. Bet Hillel says, pick up the stuff. So Rav Nachman holds that Bet Hillel does not hold of muktzeh. Bet Shammai holds of muktzeh, and over here Rav Nachman is telling me no. Bet Hillel holds of muktzeh and Bet Shammai doesn't. Rav Nachman, make up your mind.
But how could you learn that?
What?
The Bet Hillel hold that there is muktzeh.
Over here he said it. Didn't he say you can't eat the egg because it's muktzeh and nolad?
Well, that was Bet Hillel.
That's Bet Hillel.
Oh.
And over there he's telling you Bet Hillel says pick him up.
Right. Okay. So
Now Rashi says something very interesting. Misalik magbihim b'Shabbat me'ala shulchan atzamot שאינם ראויים לאכילה. They're not edible. וקליפי גוזים, ולא חיישינן למוקצה. Tosfot says, the Tanan, מגביהים מעל השולחן, פירוש הקונטרס, אף על גב דאין ראויים, לא למאכל אדם ולא למאכל בהמה. Now Rashi didn't say that over here. Rashi didn't. What? Sure they do. So Tosfot says, v'lo nehira, teha'ika b'seifa v'se'ar shel afunim v'se'ar shel adashim. And it says, מפני שהם ראויים למאכל בהמה. לכן נראה לי שהם ראויים למאכל בהמה. כגון עצמות רקים, את soft bones, וקליפי תפוחים, and apple peels, ובטלל, קליפי תפוחים, people. ובטלל, סברי, כיוון דלא חזי למאכל אדם, לא. Since people can't eat it, no. Says the Gemara, back in Rashi, Ela betelel omrim emetaltelim otam biyatam. You can't move them. Shemuktzim. Why are they muktzeh? According to Tosfot, it's ra'ui l'ma'achal behema, because it's nolad. Till now, it was ra'ui l'ma'achal adam. Now you're changing the purpose. You're making it for ma'achal behema. It's nolad. Ela misaleket tavla. Pick up the table. Sheyesh torat keli alea. Umina'ara and shake it out. Amar Rav Nachman, anu en lanu b'shitat mishnah zu. We know that we have a masoret that the shitot in this mishnah shemuchlefet shitata, it's backwards. Elakach shamati mirabotenu. The Bet Shammai could be Yehuda. Umachmeri, pick up the table. Ubet Hillel could be Shimon. So now, Rav Nachman, you're contradicting yourself. Over here, you're putting Bet Hillel like Rabbi Yehuda. In Masechet Shabbat, you told me to put Bet Hillel like Rabbi Shimon. Amar lecha Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman will tell you, no, I'm not contradicting myself. Gabe Shabbat, in Masechet Shabbat, this Atam Lan Tana Rabbi Shimon, that the Stam Mishnah Masechet Shabbat goes like Rabbi Shimon. The Tanan, we learned. Mehatechin et adilu'in lifnei habehema. You're allowed to chop. Dilu'in is a squash in front of the animal. What's the problem with that? Rashi. Mehatchin dilu'in tlushim. They already picked from before Shabbat, so it's not muktzeh. Lifnei habehema. Why should not? We don't say, what do you have to cut it? Let the animal eat it yourself. No, it's okay. You're allowed to pamper your animal. Right? Tircha. The muktzeh is coming. You're allowed to chop up a nevela in front of the animals. Look in Rashi. Nevela lefnei haklavim. Even though the animal died on Shabbat, the ben Hashem hashot lo hayta omedet la'achilat klavim. So ben Hashem hashot, you were hoping to leave this animal and you're going to eat it, not on Shabbat, but whatever. Afilu hachishar, even so it's mutar. The let lan muktzeh b'Shabbat, we don't behold of muktzeh. Hilkach magbihin. So therefore, so you see, he doesn't hold the muktzeh. So the Stam Tana is Rabbi Shimon that doesn't hold the muktzeh. So therefore, Hilkach by Magbihim Me'ala Shulchan, they might be Shabbat. That Mishnah is on Shabbat. So you want Masechet Shabbat itself to be consistent. So if you have a Stam Mishnah, right, that means that that's really pretty much the halacha, right? The opinion of Masechet Shabbat is like Rabbi Shimon. So if the opinion of Masechet Shabbat is like Rabbi Shimon, who should Beit Hillel be holding like? It should be Shimon, right? You want Beit Hillel is your side, right? Whoever you're saying Beit Hillel holds, that's what you believe is his side. You can't tell me that the Stam Mishnah is like Rabbi Yehuda, and then you put Beit Hillel. Stam Mishnah like Rabbi Shimon, you put Beit Hillel like Rabbi Yehuda, and Beit Shammai like Rabbi Yehuda. You Stam Mishnah like Beit Shammai? Impossible. Right? The mighty Bishop. Mukim lebeit Hillel. So we put Beit Hillel the name Rabbi Shimon. Ki hechi dolotekshi hilcheta alcheta. So the halachot shouldn't be contradictory. The kaim alam we hold halacha ki Stam Mishnah. The kaim alam we hold halacha ki Beit Hillel. So therefore, in Masechet Shabbat we have to put the Stam Mishnah like Beit Hillel. Aval gabe Yom Tov when it comes to Yom Tov. The Ashkachan we found. This time Rabbi could be Shimon, could be Yehuda, that the Stam Mishnah Masechet Beitza is like Rabbi Yehuda. Let's see. So again, we'll start again. Amal Charav Nachman Gabe Shabbat Desatam Man Tana Rabbi Shimon. The Stam Mishnah is like Rabbi Shimon Detnan. Mechatechim et Elohim lefnei abema. ואת הנבלה לפני הכלבים, מוקים לה לבית הלל כרבי שמעון. We put בית הלל כרבי שמעון. אבל גבי יום טוב דסתם לן תנא כרבי יהודה. On יום טוב, the סתם משנה is like רבי יהודה. דתנן, אין מבקעים עצים מן הקורות. ולא מן הקורה שנשברה ביום טוב. So if you have korot, you have in the backyard, they're doing construction. They have a pile of 2x4s. All ready for binyan. It's muktzeh. It's omed for binyan. Rashi. En mevakim etzim biyom tov. Lo min hakorot hasidurot zu agav zu. Piled up one on top of the other b'karka. Ve'omdot lebinyan. They omed for building. Ve'lo min hakora shenishbera biyom tov. And not from a beam that broke on yom tov. Rashi. Ve'lo min hakora shenishbera biyom tov. The beam broke. Hopefully the house is still good. Even though at this point, broken beam, you're going to burn it. Since ben hashemashot, it wasn't omed for srefa. It was muktzeh ben hashemashot. It ketzai lekuli yom. It stays muktzeh the whole day. Alma itlan muktzeh b'yom tov. We believe in muktzeh on yom tov. Hilkach, therefore. Muki Rav Nachman lematnitin the Rabbi Yom Tov betelek Rabbi Yehuda. So Rav Nachman says in Masechet Beitza where the Stam Tana goes like Rabbi Yehuda, I gotta put betelek like Rabbi Yehuda. Ubeomedet legadel betzin. So the Mishnah is talking about a chicken that's for growing eggs, which is muktzeh. Umishum muktzeh. Says the Gemara again.
Any use?
Huh?
Any use? Muktzeh?
Muktzeh.
Even if you take two chairs, you could make a, like three beams, so it's like a bench. You make a bench out of it. But
muktzeh. You can't pick it up.
You can't touch it.
Mukim lebetelek Rabbi Yehuda. Mechti. Let's see. Understand. Man satme lematniti. Who wrote the Stam Mishnahs? Rabbi. Rabbi wrote them. Look in Rashi. Man satam lan lematnitin Rabbi. Who see there the Mishnah? Rabbi wrote the Mishnah. So Rabbi had a lot of braitot, right? Each one with the author. He knew who wrote it. When he saw an opinion, and he liked the opinion, he took off the name. He put it stam. He didn't say the rabbi who said it. Alehem on that. So when people read it, they shouldn't say, "Oh, that's a lone opinion. That's a BB's opinion. We don't like it." It looks like everybody taught that. And they'll follow it. So Rabbi chose the Stam Mishnayot because he wanted people to follow those Mishnayot. Lavdavka. But even if it's a Yachid, Rabbi put it Stam, so that now it's like Mipi Amirubim. Now it's like the majority opinion. Right? So the Gemara says, Ma'ishna b'Shabbat desatam lan Rabbi Shimon. U'ma'ishna b'Yom Tov desatan lan Rabbi Yehuda. Lechaora Shabbat and Yom Tov muktzeh is the same. Either you believe in muktzeh, you don't believe in muktzeh. En ben Shabbat liyom Tov ela ochel levet bilvad. Right? So how come in Masechet Shabbat the Stam is like Rabbi Shimon, in Masechet Beitza the Stam is like Rabbi Yehuda? Amri, so they answer. Shabbat hamira, Shabbat is chamur. They're not going to be mizalzel on Shabbat if you give them a kula. People take Shabbat seriously. You could afford to give a kula. Satam lan can be Shimon. So Rabbi could tell us like to be Shimon and it's safe. Right? To Mekel. Yom Tov, but on Yom Tov. They kill. Since people take it lightly, you could cook, you could do stuff. So if you make it on Yom Muktzeh, they're going to be mizalzel. Satam lan can be Yudah, they're machmir. He wrote this Stam Mishnah like Rabbi Yehuda, that's machmir. Rashi. If you give him a kula, they're not going to. Yom Kippur, you give a guy a kula, he's not going to be mekil. They take it seriously. Shabbat also, people take seriously. Mashenk in Yom Tov, people think it's all mutar. So you have to put certain safeguards in order to protect the integrity of Yom Tov. So, the Maaseh Maran holds like this Rav Nachman. He says we hold on Shabbat, we don't hold the muktzeh, we hold like Rabbi Shimon, but on Yom Tov we have to be machmir on muktzeh, like Rabbi Yehuda. That if you have something designated for a later date, set aside, it's muktzeh.
What's the hashash of it? You're not worried about muktzah, we're worried about other things.
Yes. Says the Gemara, B'mayu kimta, so what do you say it's talking about? It's from a chicken that's going to lay eggs. The chicken is muktzeh, the egg is muktzeh too. Says the Gemara, Ihachi, Adam miflegi beBeitza, liflugu betarnegolet. Why are you arguing about the egg? Argue about the chicken, right? The same thing. Beit Shammai holds the chicken is not muktzeh, the egg is not muktzeh. Beit Hillel holds the chicken is muktzeh and the egg is muktzeh. Meaning, Bishlam, if you were arguing about nolad and not muktzeh, I can't argue about the chicken because I don't hold the muktzeh. I just hold them nolad, right? So in the beginning we were saying I don't hold the muktzeh, but I hold them nolad. So the chicken I could eat, but I can't eat the egg. So that's why you're talking about the egg. But now you're telling me no, we're not so lumbish. Really, the chicken is muktzeh and the egg is muktzeh. It's the same. So why are you confusing me and arguing about the egg? The egg is only a tolada of the chicken.
You could teach us just with the chicken.
I can learn.
Adrabah, maybe I'll think only the chicken, only the egg is asur.
I can learn the egg from the chicken. I can learn the chicken from the egg.
Adrabah, if the chicken is muktzeh, for sure the egg is muktzeh. If the egg is muktzeh, it's not for sure the chicken is muktzeh. Says the Gemara, Rashi. No, Rashi says the Gemara, Lo diacha, little bit kochan de Beit Shammai. We want to teach you the power of Beit Shammai. The benolad shari. We're not only matir muktzeh, we even matir nolad. If I would tell you the chicken, you'd say, yeah, they don't hold the muktzeh, but they hold the nolad. Says the Gemara, lifluge betarnegolet. Why don't you argue on the chicken? No, diacha kochan de Beit Hillel, that they don't only oser nolad, they also oser muktzeh. The bemuktzeh asri. What are you going to tell me? Kohad hetera adif. Tell me, kohad hetera adif. Better to say a koach of heter. The niflog betarvayu. Let's argue on both of them. Tarnegolet ha'omed legadel betzim. Hi'u betzata. That and the chicken. Beit Shammai omrim tochal. Beit Hillel omrim lo tochal. So that's the question on Rav Nachman. Why didn't you mention the muktzeh, the muktzeh as well? The chicken too. Look in Rashi. The hetera adif le tov lo lahashmi'enu koach devrei hamatir. It's better for us to say the words of the matir. Shehu somech al shemu'ato. He relies on his statement. Ve'enu yareh lehatir. He's not afraid to be matir. Aval koach ha'osrim. The koach of the osrim en araya. That's not a proof. Shakol yecholim lachmir. Anybody can be machmir, right? Va'afilu bedavar mutar. It's easy to be what's it called. Says the Gemara. Umishum hachan. That's so. The Tosfot says. Tosfot asks the question. V'niflog betarvayu. V'teima. The kol makom de ka'amar koach de etera adif lefrocha. Because we have this koach de etera all the time in the Gemara. Why don't we say both? Yes, Lomar, we could say the hacha parich v'niflog betarvayu. Over here we could say it. Shelo ya'arich. It's not going to take too long. Mishum kach. V'yomar hi ubetzata. Val be'alma lo shech. Normally doesn't work. Okay. Says the Gemara. Ela Amar Rabba. Rabba says le'ola. I don't like Rav Nachman. Why? They should have argued about the muktzeh too. Ela Amar Rabba le'ola betarnegolet ha'omed la'achila. The chicken is for eating. So why can't you eat the egg? Haretz uchla de ifrak. Ubiyom tov shehaliot ahar Shabbat. Really, the main problem is Yom Tov that falls out on Sunday. Askinan. So what? Umishum hachana. And the problem is there's a halacha that seudat Yom Tov has to be prepared from a Yom Hol. Right? And this one wasn't prepared from a Yom Hol. V'kasava Rabba says, Kol Beitza demet yalda ha'idna. If an egg is born today, me'etmol gamrala, it finished. The shell hardened. It became ready to come out yesterday. It became ready yesterday. So when was the egg ready? If it's born on Sunday, on Shabbat, right? So it wasn't ready on Friday. Therefore, I can't eat it. But Rabbi is according to his position. The Amar Rabba, my dichti, what is it that it says by the man? The Haya bayom hashishi, the hechinu et asher yaviu. They should prepare what they're going to bring. Sedin as follows: Hol mechin leShabbat. A weekday could prepare for Shabbat. V'hol and a weekday mechin liyom tov. Ve'en yom tov mechin leShabbat. But a yom tov cannot prepare for Shabbat. Ve'en Shabbat mechina liyom tov. And Shabbat can prepare for yom tov. Not that you have an isur, you have an isur. I did not make the egg. I didn't tell the chicken to make the egg. It's not in Amira lebehema. The problem is as follows. Let's see Rashi. Vehechinu vehizminu kegon mikan ani ochel lemacha. For example, you say, I'm going to eat from here tomorrow. The imishu machana biyadayim. What are you telling me? This Braita is telling me that I have to prepare it physically. Vilomar, and it's telling you, shiofu v'yivashilu mi be'od yom. Well, you're getting complicated, Rabbi. The pasuk is telling me, bake before Shabbat, because you're not allowed to bake on Shabbat. Cook before Shabbat, because you're not allowed to cook on Shabbat. Easy. Says the Gemara, ketiv, ketiv. It says that it tofu, right? It says bake what you're going to bake, because you can't bake tomorrow. So what's vehechin? What type of hachana are you including in vehechinu if you already told me it tofu? Ela hazmana bepeh ka'amah. It means you have to put it aside verbally, designated. V'chtiv bayom hashishi. What does it say bayom hashishi? V'stam shishi holu. Shishi means weekday. V'ach shevera hamana l'seudat Shabbat. So the Torah gave a hashivut to the Seudah of Shabbat. Sheyazminena mi be'od yom. You have to prepare it from before Shabbat. Ubahol, not only from before Shabbat, from a weekday. So if you have Yom Tov before Shabbat, you can't prepare it on Yom Tov. Has to be Mukhan from Hol. Ve'en Yom Tov mechin leShabbat. The Yom Tov nami karui Shabbat. Yom Tov is called the Shabbat. Uba'aya seudato hazmana. Its meal also needs to be prepared from before. The hazmanatan has to be prepared by Hol. Aval seudat Hol, a weekday meal, lo hashiva, it's not important. V'lo shaycha b'hazmana, it doesn't have to be prepared. Hilkach. So now, again, if Yom Tov is on Sunday and the egg is born, what's the problem? It was prepared on Shabbat. It wasn't prepared from Yom Chol, so I can't eat it. It says Rashi, let's say an egg is born on Sunday. When was that egg? It was a weekday, regular Sunday. When was the egg prepared? On Shabbat. So on Shabbat prepared for Hol? I even worse. Rashi, no, you got it backwards. It's not that Shabbat is not allowed to prepare. Hashem does what he wants. Chickens do what they want. On Yom Tov, you have to eat food that was officially prepared from a Yom Chol. On Chodei Chol, eat what you want. Not hashuv. Right? Chol, letlan lemeisa betzah shenolad be. Mishum deitkan bidei shamayim. Because it was prepared bidei shamayim on Shabbat. The Seudat Chol lo atzricha rahamana zimun mi be'od yom. To lo shayich ba muktzeh. Seudat Chol doesn't need preparation. There's no muktzeh, there's no issue. Says the Gemara, if that's the case, Yom Tov be'alma tishteri. So if you have a betzah that's born on a Tuesday, when was it prepared? On Monday. Monday was Erev Yom Tov. Let it be mutar. Tishteri. Gezerah mishum Yom Tov achar Shabbat. It's a gezerah Yom Tov after Shabbat. If you tell people,
that's the whole point. That's a double gezerah.
It's not a double gezerah.
Why not?
If you tell people, it's one gezerah, Judge. Don't eat it today because you're going to come to eat a betzah that's a suda oraita. Rabbi holds it's an isur oraita.
How's that oraita?
Well, I'll tell you about. If every Yom Tov, right? Every Yom Tov you have fresh eggs, right? Every Yom Tov morning you go outside to the chicken coop and you take the fresh eggs. You make shakshuka. This is the best fresh eggs, right? all of a sudden you're going to remember Sunday you can't have fresh eggs?
No.
Never going to happen. So therefore, because Sunday the eggs are asur doraita, we have to say you can never eat fresh eggs on Yom Tov. It's the only way to do it. Rashi, Yom Tov be'alma she'enu achara Shabbat should be mutar. So we say no gezerah mishum Yom Tov de'alma. Shabbat de'alma tishteri. Right on a regular Shabbat, it should be mutar to have eggs. Now, how you can eat eggs on Shabbat? Rashi, Shabbat de'alma she'enu achar Yom Tov tishteri. L'gmoa beitza haya shenolda, at least to swallow the egg without cooking it. Says the Gemara, if you couldn't eat it, it would be muktzah anyway. There's nothing to do with it. It's useless. It's useless. Gezerah mishum Shabbat ahar Yom Tov. It's a gezerah. Shabbat after Yom Tov.
Okay.
Right? It's a gezerah for Shabbat after Yom Tov. What does that mean? We're afraid when Friday is Yom Tov, so you didn't have a hachana from Hol. Says the Gemara, Umi gazrina. Do we make a gezerah atu other Shabbatot, atu other eggs? Tanya, we have a braita. Hashochetet tatarnegolet. You shechted a chicken on Yom Tov. Umatzah ba besim gemurot, and you found whole eggs inside. Mutarot lochlam b'Yom Tov.
Everything's fine.
Right? You're allowed to eat them on Yom Tov. Right? And if you're going to tell me that we go say all eggs on Yom Tov, because you're going to come to eat the eggs that were born on Yom Tov Ahara Shabbat, ve'em ita, and if you're going to say ligzor mishum hanach demet yaldam b'Yom Mehon, make a gezerah atu the ones that are born on Yom Tov after Shabbat. Amarlei, he told him, betzim gemurot b'me'ima milta d'loshchicha. It's uncommon to find eggs in the chicken. Or milta d'loshchicha, uncommon things. Lo gazur barabanan. They only make a gezerah on a milta d'shchicha, not a milta d'loshchicha. Why is it so common? It's not so common.
If I'm eating on Shabbat, people are going to eat it on the holiday. If you eat it on Shabbat, all chicken holiday mutar. Why have to go gezerah?
I don't know. It's a good question. Let's see Rashi. V'hatanya. Ve'emtom umi gazrin an Rashi mi achmur abanam bebeitza lemigzar hetera mishum misira ve'hatanya. Didn't we learn that if you shecht an egg and you find an egg inside, you're allowed to eat it? Says Rashi. I'll tell you why I didn't make a gezerah on that. Havile gezerah legezerah. Tahanach demet yaldam b'yom mehun. The ones that are born on Yom Tov. Nami, right? Look, it's a regular. It's Yom Tov on Tuesday. So you're shechting a chicken, you find an egg inside. Don't eat the egg because you're going to come to eat it if it gave birth. Even if it gave birth, it's a gezerah. Right? The hanach, the mityal dam biyom yom, if an egg would be born that day. Nami ena masurim ela mishum gezerah di yom tov ahara Shabbat. Taritz, you could answer as follows. Hamatzi le'ukme biyom tov ahara Shabbat. Even if you shech the chicken on Sunday, Yom Tov on Sunday, you're allowed to eat it. The hashta ikal migzar atu hanach demityal dam biyom mehon. You still have a gezerah atu, the ones that are born today on Sunday, which are the oraitas. V'ashmuinan hachmat niti. The Mishnah is teaching me. The afilu biyom tov achara Shabbat mutarot. Even on Yom Tov after Shabbat, it's mutar. Ho'il ve'enam noldot, because it's not nolad. Umishum hanach demityal dam, because of those that are born leka lemigzar. I'm not going to make a gezerah atu those. The mishum, the milta doloshchichahi, because it's uncommon. B'shem Rabbeinu. The amri, that he has that from his rabbi. The amri nam bekulei hashas. This is what we say in the whole shas. She'en gozrim gezerah legezerah. How do we learn that? Mehai kira nafka. We learn it from this pasuk. Ushmartem et mishmarti. Asu mishmeret kelomar gezerah lemishmarti kelomar letorati. Hashem told the Chachamim, it's your responsibility to protect the Torah. Where you feel that things could get lost, make a gezerah. But I only said to make a mishmeret for my Torah. V'lo mishmeret lemishmeret. Don't make a mishmeret for your gezerah. Shelo yasu gezerah legezerah. Rashi says, "Ve'en yom tov mechin lahavero." Right, going back to Rabbi, he says, "En yom tov mechin l'Shabbat. Shabbat is not mechin for yom. What about yom tov mechin lahavero? Lo garsinam b'milta de'brabba. Ta'akra kadarish. Rabbas being doresh a pasuk. The'shnei yamim resufim. 2 days back to back. But Torah lo ashkachan. The misfek avdinos. Only misafek. The Gemara doesn't have such a.
Right, if the egg is not mukana, you're allowed to eat it.
No.
So why don't we say because it's in it, it's not hachana, it's some be'od yom. So you're not allowed to eat the egg. Why would you eat it b'shefter? It's not mukhani.
The one you found
It's not considered.
I don't think. So what's the problem? It was ready. It's ready from yesterday.
Maybe it's not. How do you know? If it's not out, I mean that it's still prepared.
No, it's ready yesterday. We know that. We know.
How do you know that yesterday's today?
If it's born today, it's ready yesterday.
It's not born today. You shucked it.
That's
it's not mukhan. That's why
Rabbi, it's not treated like a laid egg.
it's ochla de ifra. That's part of the chicken. The chicken is food. The beitza is food. It's part of the chicken.
I'm allowed to eat.
Yeah.
Shech
I'm allowed to eat it. I'm allowed to eat. It's not
is an
making it
animal, and it's pregnant. Is it the same concept? Or just because it's an egg, it's a different.
This one? Okay, on the internet.
Tosfot asked a different question. Hare, according to Rashi, we're talking about a betzah that you shechted the animal on Yom Tov Ahara Shabbat. So when you shechted, how do you know? Maybe if you left it 20 more minutes, it would have given birth. If it would have given birth, when was the egg prepared? Yesterday. If the egg was prepared yesterday, it wasn't mukham from Yom Hol. Meaning there's a new hachana for this egg. The new hachana is that it was ready to be born, and it was prepared yesterday. He says Tosfot, even so, if it wasn't born, the hachana doesn't mean anything. The hachana is only hachana if it was born. If it wasn't born, the hachana didn't do anything. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen.
If it was an animal, would it make a difference?
No.
You're allowed to eat the animal that was born on Yom Tov?
You're allowed to eat an animal that's born on Yom Tov. I think so. You can't eat it because it's not old enough. You have to wait 8 days.
How many? Oh, 8 days?
The 8th day, yeah. Ma shlomcha, Rabbi?